Welcome to our Media Lab Summer 2021 Showcase. I am Johan Rashivega, Media Lab Director, and we are extremely proud to present our cohort of young producers who got the opportunity to learn from the past 6 weeks the process of media production and creation on fields like journalism, photo voice, podcasting, video, television, and even music. I am extremely proud to introduce to all of you a whole next generation of media creators and producers that is not only based on our cohort of interns, but also our mentors team. It is my pleasure and privilege to introduce you to our team leader, our production associate, Zoe Naglieri Prescott.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Zoe Naglieri Prescott, and I am a production associate here at NEPM and one of the Media Lab facilitators. We had a very busy summer that involved a number of media-based challenges for our students to explore. With the guidance and facilitation from staff and mentors, our student interns learned how to use video, audio, and graphic designing software such as Audacity, iMovie, and Canva to create all the components for their photo voice, newspaper articles, podcasts, and video projects. They were also provided with audio kits, MacBooks, and all of the tools they needed to produce every piece of their projects throughout the summer, and we are so excited for you to see the final results. While we will be hearing from all of our students tonight, some will be presenting live and others are pre-recorded due to connectivity and scheduling conflicts. For better viewing experiences, please make sure that your Zoom screen is set to speaker view. We have also turned off all of your microphones and cameras for a better experience overall. And we also encourage that everyone uses the chat and reactions to interact with everyone during the program. I'm now going to pass the mic to our mentors.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening to showcase our student and their works. I am extremely proud of all of the work that we've been able to do as a staff and as interns this summer. I'm Veronica Moore. I'm one of the NEPM mentors. I'm the first of 3 that you will meet. I recently graduated from UMass Amherst with a degree in English as well as one in journalism. I specialize in social and racial justice and minored in Spanish. I'm going to give you a little bit of an intro to some of our side projects that we created this summer. Our first side project was entitled Shoe Selfie. Each student and staff member took a photo of their shoes, whether they were their most worn shoes, their favorite shoes they've never worn. And this provoked a conversation about community, where we've been and where we will go. Our most involved side project, and one of my favorites, was a song playlist poem, where each student picked a mood or a feeling to convey by picking songs to create a poem, song titles specifically, that would allow their audience to experience that feeling. I am incredibly excited to pass the mic to our next media mentor, Hannah Booth.
Hi, everyone. I'm Hannah. I'm one of the 3 media mentors here for the summer. I'm currently a junior at UMass Amherst, and I'm double majoring in public health and Spanish, as well as on a pre-physician's assistant track. This summer, the students and the staff had the opportunity to take 3 different field trips. The first one was our community walk, where the students were able to take pictures of issues affecting the Springfield community. And then we were also given a tour of the Republican newspaper to see how newspapers are produced and talk to some of the reporters and staff there and gain insight on some of the things that they do there. And this week, we wrapped everything up with a tour of NEPM's TV studio, where the students had an opportunity to run a mock TV interview complete with lights, cameras, and audio, which was a super fun experience to see what goes on behind the scenes for the types of shows that we watch every day. So thank you all for coming, and I am now passing it over to my other mentor, Melissa.
Hello, everyone, and good evening. My name is Melissa Nieves Torres, and I'm also a recent graduate from the University of Massachusetts Amherst with a degree in journalism and communications, media, and theater arts. And I'm also one of your students' mentors this summer. Over the course of this summer, we had the opportunity to do a lot of fun activities, but some of my personal favorites were the icebreaker activities that we did at the beginning of the day. Whether it was a writing activity, an audio activity, or more, we had the chance to do a lot of those activities to create spaces for students to write about issues that they're passionate about or just get to know each other a lot better. Some of the highlights of those would definitely have to be the name story and animated storytelling. The name story was one of the first activities that we did this summer, in which the students took a few minutes to write a story about what their name, whether it was the origin, the meaning, or a fun little story that goes along with it. And lastly, we also had the animated storytelling. So all of the students had to pick a classic story tale, whether it was a folk tale or anything that they heard when they were growing up, and they had to read it in their most animated voices. A lot of these activities were so students can practice getting used to recording audio, getting used to hearing themselves, because that's always difficult for people at first. And also, again, just getting comfortable with the material and practicing storytelling. And now, without further ado, let's hear from one of our incredible students, starting with a piece from Elijah Desues.
Hi, my name is Elijah Desues, and my video, I'm going to talk about the death of my first cat as a kid. A moment I lost something important was when I was a little kid. I got a cat, my very first animal I ever remembered. I didn't know what to do with it, so I never played or touched it, but I was excited to add him to our family. He was colorful, he had black, white, and gray hair. His hair was really puffy and shed a little bit. He was pretty scary looking, and as a kid I was stupid enough to stare at his eyes, so he punched into my face and scratched it up. I was really mad at him for that, but he was still very special to me. I never stared at his eyes after that incident, though it was very scary. My parents were always looking for places to live at until they found the place I'm recently living at now. There were no pets allowed, but I think my parents made that up because I had many pets in the place I live in and nothing has happened. My mom ended up giving my cat away to these people. They locked him in the basement to eat all the mice and mouses. That was the only thing he ate down there. I found out after a month after his death. My mom told me. I was devastated. He didn't deserve to die like that. We spent 3 years together. We had our ups and downs, but he died being used as a tool and was thrown away afterwards. His name was Thomas, and he lived the last month of his life in a basement, locked down there, only eating mouses. I thought to myself as a kid, thinking I could have helped him avoid that, and I lived the rest of his life.
Hi, my name is Ariani Diaz, and creativity and technology are the best skills I've learned at NEPM. Thank you for joining us today. Right now, you will be listening to my childhood phases podcast I recorded earlier this summer.
Sound,
Stories,
music, ideas, experimentation.
This is Media Lab.
This is Media Lab.
My name is Ariani Diaz, and this is like my childhood phase podcast. As a child, I was really obsessed with like my bobo. So what we called it was a bobo, but it's really like a pacifier. I was like really obsessed with it. Like I would have so many tantrums like if I did not have my bobo. One day, my mom, she will not forget this story. One day, my mom, she hid my bobo in the cabinet, and I was going crazy about it. And I'm the youngest of my family, so like obviously everyone knows this story. Everyone knows, like, I could not live without my pacifier. I had a tantrum that whole day. Oh my goodness, like, I was really obsessed with it. And come back, it bit me back. So with the pacifier, like, it, like, literally pushed my front teeth up. At least that's what they say. I don't think it's true, but that's what they said. They said that it pushed my front teeth up, and I had, like, a really bad overbite. And now I have braces. It wasn't worth it. So I will not be pushing on the pacifier down to children at all. My last phase was an addiction to Shrek. I actually have a picture with the Shrek doll, which is the one showing. I could not be apart from that doll, Shrek. My mom has so many stories. They actually said I looked like the Shrek doll. That was another doll I couldn't leave in preschool. Like I had to have that doll in preschool everywhere I went. I had to watch Shrek before I went to bed, and if it wasn't Shrek, it was Cars. So like I was a very weird kid, not gonna lie, and I had very weird taste.
Hi, my name is Marguerite Kosmarski, and over the summer I learned audio and visual production, and you're going to watch today my podcast about Gen Z words and phrases that they use. Hope you enjoy.
Sound,
Stories.
music, ideas, experimentation.
This is Media Lab.
This is Media Lab.
Welcome to Words and What They Mean with your host, Maggie Kosmersky. Today we will be talking about Gen Z and what words and phrases they are using at the moment. This is for you 30-year-olds who are trying to stay cool. This is for you boomers who are trying to understand what their grandkids are saying. Warning, this is not for millennials who think this will be an aid to them in their made-up generational war. Like, get over it. We don't care about your side parts. Wear skinny jeans if you want. We don't care. Whew. Anyways, let's get into it. Bussin'. Bussin' is what you would say if something was really good. For example, if you ate something really good, you would tell your waiter that it was bussin' and demand they tell the chef. Dumpy. Dumpy is a word used to describe when someone appears to have a rather large bottom. For example, you put on yoga pants and look in the mirror and exclaim, "Dang, I got a dumpy." Chuggy. Chuggy is used when someone or something is displaying some article or article of clothing that was once in style but is no longer cool. For example, you see your mom putting up a sign that says "Live, Laugh, Love," and you scream, "No, Mom, that's chuggy." Cap. The word cap is basically used to describe the act of lying or calling out something false. For example, when someone says, "Donald Trump is the rightful president," you would say, "That's cap." Vibe. Vibe is a word used to describe a feeling, usually used to portray your intuitive feelings. For example, you walk into an abandoned apartment with random writing on the walls and what looks to be blood stained on the floors, and you whisper under your breath, "The vibes in here seem a little off," to your friend just before bolting out the door and never looking back. Flex. Flex is used to describe someone bragging and in most cases humbly, but not limited to. For example, when you drop your very expensive car keys in front of someone you want to impress. Tea. Tea is another word for gossip or drama, and is usually described with other tea jargon. For example, you have just overheard your manager at work talk about her impending divorce and her secret affair with another coworker and their secret baby. So you call your friend and say, "Girl, I got some hot tea to spill." Written by a woman. The phrase "written by a woman" is used to describe a person that appeals to the female gaze and is a compliment, basically saying they are respectful and not a bigot. For example, you see a really hot guy at a Black Lives Matter protest who's marching, passing out water bottles, and raising money for homeless children, as well as sporting a feminist t-shirt. And you say to your friend, "Wow, he must be written by a woman." That's all, folks. Now, if you use any of these words and you're not Gen Z or you're not cool enough for Gen Z, you will be chuggy. Thank you. Bye.
Hi, my name is Dominic Bruce Moore, and over the summer I learned tons of new media skills. One of the best things I learned was how to edit an iMovie. It was very interesting, and today you guys will be seeing the fruit of that labor, which is my video project on food. Enjoy.
All right, it's time to chef it up in this kitchen. All right, feeling valued. See, that's an easy one, okay? I feel valued when someone gives me food. Now, with food, that means you either bought it for me or you prepared something for me and you knew I would enjoy it. It doesn't matter what you did. You knew I would enjoy the food. You picked it for me. You took time out of your day to give it to me. And even the thought alone is enough for me. For example, at school on my birthday, a friend of mine pulled out this huge red bag of Skittles out of her bag. I mean, this thing was medium to large size. It was amazing. And people might not realize it, but food is an expression of love. mean, I'm not crazy, am I? Have you seen how many cultures treat food? Take lavash, for example. It's a type of Armenian bread that takes tons of time and skill to make. And it's actually used in Armenian weddings. What they'll do is they'll take the bread and drape it over the shoulders of the bride and the groom to symbolize future prosperity. Or something that's really cool is Japanese washoku. Now, you might be thinking, what does washoku mean? It means heavenly food or heavenly meal, and it's essentially the concept of Japanese food. So that means eating it, presenting it, how it tastes, etc. All that can be summed up in one word, and that is washoku. So here's some food for thought. I know, great pun. Every time you or others eat food or make food, you do it with the person in mind, right? It doesn't matter about how much they give you or how little they give you. It's the fact that they gave it to you, because that says a lot. And if you value yourself, you will feed yourself. If others value you, they'll feed you. If you value others, then you'll feed them. The food's ready? Oh, okay. Give me 1 second. Yeah, go ahead. It's pretty good. Just like I thought, man. Thought of you when I made it, bro. Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Anytime. This stuff is good.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our showcase. I'm so glad you can all make it. My name is Adam Torres Jr. I was an intern at NEPM this summer. And what you'll be seeing next is my digital story that I made through iMovie. And it is about friendships and my personal experience with friendships in middle school to now, compared from middle school to now. So I hope you all enjoy.
In middle school, from 6th to 8th grade, I felt no sense of belonging in any of my classes. I always felt like I didn't fit in with the other kids, or even the friend group that I was in at the time. They teased me a lot, didn't include me in almost everything they did, and overall I felt like they just didn't really enjoy my company. I always felt insecure about what I said or did when I was around them, because I was afraid they'd make fun of me and call me names. But even with all that stuff that I went through, it still didn't affect me mentally to the point where I'd break into pieces, because I have such a loving and supportive family that kept me together. When I transferred into high school, I lost touch with almost everyone in the friend group, with only 1 or 2 people sticking with me. But eventually, even they found their way out of my life. Fast forward to the present, and now I feel like I have real friends who genuinely care about me. And even though they're individual friends and not a whole friend group, I will always be thankful for them. I even got a lot closer with some of my cousins, and I also consider them some of my best friends. A real friend is someone who has your back, no matter what, and always has your best interests at heart. And to me, anybody of any age can be your friend, even a family member. And even though I haven't found a friend group yet that will last a lifetime, and the people in that group will appreciate me for who I am as a person, even with my flaws, I know one day I will. But for now, I'll just have to do with what I got, and I have no problem with that.
Hi, I'm Charisma Kosmersky. During this program, I learned how to use various software like Audacity and iMovie to edit audio and video. The project you'll hear next is a podcast I did about high school sports.
Sound,
Stories,
music, ideas, experimentation.
This is Media Lab.
This is Media Lab.
Hey, I'm Charisma, and this is an episode about gender inequality in high school sports and my experience with it. So I'm new to school sports, like I've only played 2 seasons, and the first one was in 7th grade, and I played on the volleyball team. Let me tell you, I was not good at all. But last year, I played lacrosse for my school team, and even though it was super scary, like I panicked every single time that I had to go to practice, it was something new, and it was fun, and I'm glad I did it, and I'm going to do it again this year. So hopefully I've found something that I like to do. But I might have never even been able to do this if my teacher never told me about it. And it's like, why does nobody talk about sports? Well, except for the main sports, which I'll speak about in the future. So the teacher who told me about lacrosse was my health teacher, and coincidentally, she is the head coach, which made sense why she was telling us about it. So I decided to join, and I tried out, and I got in. So I started playing in games. It was really scary, and after a while I realized there were only going to be 11 of us on our team. I thought it was average, but then we started playing other schools, and then I realized we have way less people than the other teams. Other teams probably had maybe about 20, even maybe more players, so they all had players who could sit on the side and switch in and out, but we had no subs. It was just us on the field the whole entire time. Why do we have only 11 people? Where's everybody else? I feel like if more people knew about this sport, then more people would be interested in it. Well, on the girls' team. So at my school, which is central, at the games, the boys' games are more popular than the girls' games, and you hear about the boys' football team getting these wins and going to nationals and all these big things that the boys' teams accomplish, but what about the girls' teams? We're here, we're not invisible. And so as I was looking through Instagram and Twitter, I see all of these people that I know posting all these pictures of themselves on the field, and they're professional photos, which means that the school or somebody on the team, or maybe the coach hired professional photographers to take pictures of them, which is why does not every team have that? Because the more and more pictures I saw of people, the more I realized it was the boys' teams who got those professional pictures. So one day I was on Twitter, and then I just searched up my school just to see hey, does my school have a Twitter account, just to see what they have or whatever. And so I found a lacrosse account, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. I play lacrosse. And then I realized that the only thing they post is stuff about the boys' team. And their literal profile pictures are of the boys' teams. So why label their account as Central High School Lacrosse if they're not gonna put anything out about the girls' team? And they did show player appreciation and congrats to that and stuff like that. But again, what about the girls' team? And this is not just also about just the girls lacrosse team, but just in general, at this school, and I'm guessing probably at other schools too, the girls' teams just don't get recognition that they deserve. They work hard too, and it's not just all about the boys' sports. So if you care about sports and you appreciate sports, it shouldn't matter what the team, well, you can have biases about your teams, that's why you root for certain teams, but you shouldn't hate women playing basketball, but then love when men play basketball. You should appreciate basketball as a whole. But I think this is gonna be where I'm ending this episode, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye!
Our next project is a podcast by Marisabel Isaac. She was not able to join us tonight, but we are excited to present for her.
My name is Marisabel Isaac, and I'll be talking about the aftermath of Hurricane Maria 4 years later. More specifically, how it affected the locals. Where to start? Let's start with the fact that hundreds of thousands of Puerto Ricans left the island because their basic needs couldn't be met. The final effect of the aftermath is expected to drive out about 80,000 more Puerto Ricans from the island by 2024. In Puerto Rico, tourism income is heavily relied on. According to Business Insider, tourism recovered 4 times faster than New Orleans after Katrina. Over the past 4 years, there has been a series of earthquakes in Puerto Rico, affecting the recovery process from the hurricane. One of these earthquakes occurred on January 7th of 2020, making a magnitude of 6.4. The people that were most affected from the hurricane is the island's poorest residents. Many of them live in hard-to-reach places of the mountains and or in more rural communities. They were the last to have electricity restored and regain water. Mercy Corp says that on average, Puerto Rico went 41 days without reception, 65 days without water, and 81 days without power. The island has long power outages 1 to 2 times a month. I recently went to Puerto Rico and got to experience this for myself. It lasted roughly about 45 minutes. The next day, I went to a family member's house and they told me that power outages last from 5 minutes to an hour to even a day. While I was there, I noticed some of the houses still had blue tarps for roofs, and most of them are now abandoned due to the same fact on why many people left the island. Either basic needs could not be met, or they just couldn't afford to fix the damage done to their homes. The photo I took is of my home in Puerto Rico. A little story on the building in the back. It used to be a prison, and during the hurricane, everything flew towards my home and the house next door. My father went after the hurricane had passed to check out the damage done to the house. He said that there were pieces of the building everywhere. We got lucky that it didn't break the roof, but it took a while to clean up. Because of the damage done to the prison, they sold the building and it is now abandoned. So, why did I choose this picture? To show how some people have the support and/or funds to be able to fix their homes, while most didn't and had to completely abandon the only place they ever truly knew as home.
Hi, my name is Kiara Valentin. This summer, my eyes are open to a new world of media, learning how to properly use iMovie to create a digital storytelling video. My project is about how I battled through quarantine. Hope you enjoy.
Every day was a repeat of the day before. It was like a never-ending Uno reverse card. Her daily life had become a routine. Each day was spent the same. She tries to relive those moments she had with her friends before everything changed. Yeah, they still text her every few weeks to tell her about their new boy drama. Every few days, they post her their new memories they make with their new friends, and she just watches it from the corner of her bed as tears fall down her face, wondering why that couldn't be her. She's struggling every day just to get out of bed. She's watching the people she cares most about slowly forget about her. But there was one who stuck beside her through it all. He was there next to her all those nights she cried, all those nights she felt like giving up. He was there. Of course, there were still trials and difficulties, but he gave her peace during it all. He was the light in her darkness, the ear that listened to her silent cries for help. He was the voice that told her it was going to be okay when she had doubt. He gave her hope. He was her happiness. To him, she was his treasure. She was his priceless creation. He would leave the 99 for her. She was his beloved's masterpiece. She was valued in his eyes.
Hi, I'm Shy Rivera, and my piece is about why I want to become an actor and what am I doing to pursue my dreams. I hope you enjoy my piece titled A Belief That Changed Me. A belief that changed me. When we're young, we always think about our dreams and ambitions. Some kids want to become astronauts, firefighters, engineers, artists, rock stars, the list goes on. Everyone has an idea of what they want to pursue. I never knew what I wanted to be when I grew up until my godfather asked me when I was 14. My godfather, my foster mom, and I were on a car driving to the store. I had always loved movies and acting in general, especially any movie that had Johnny Depp in it. When we were talking in the car, that question was brought up, and my heart knew the answer so clearly. I wanted to be an actress and bring my puppy leg with me. I decided that I'm going to be an actor, so I transferred schools in order to find a program or classes related to my dream job. I took a performing arts class. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot of new skills and techniques to use, and I even had the chance to meet a lot of cool people that loved acting just like me. These classes inspired me to continue to pursue my dream of going to Hollywood and becoming an actress. And my ultimate goal is to have Lucky Star beside me because he is so important to me and has been a very big part of my life. Lucky has lived with me over the last year ever since my dog Mimi passed away due to breast cancer, which broke my heart. My face was in tears, and I had a hard time thinking about anything else, especially my dream of acting and continuing to take my classes. But that all changed when Lucky was born because he was a blessing to me. He made me happy, so now I have him. Now, at 19 years old, I am getting ready to start my college classes at HCC this fall, and I will be studying performing arts. And hopefully those classes will help me gain experience, knowledge, and agent, some commercials, and most importantly, a movie or show one day. I'm Rivera. Thanks for listening. Cheers, mate.
My name is Brianna Kropnies, and I wrote a song called Change. The song Change is actually about how I always felt like I was supposed to change myself for other people to stay in my life. And throughout the past couple of years, I've learned that that's not what I have to do in order to be a happy person. So I wrote this song to prove to myself and to show other people that they don't have to change who they are just to be happy.
Should I really change who I am for you to stay a little longer? Should I really be proud of who I am? Or do you still see me as a monster? But now I'm looking in the mirror and things couldn't be clearer. You're not the one for me, and I didn't really want to believe it, but the more that I see it, the more clear it is for me. You're not what I need, and I'm as beautiful as can be, with or without you criticizing me. You're not what I need. I just need some self-love. I don't need no makeup to be what I need to be. Didn't really see it in the moment. Got too caught up in your lies. You always told me I couldn't be happy without you by my side. But look where I am now, look where you stand, because we're miles apart, and I'm dancing in the dark. I couldn't care anymore, I shouldn't care anymore about what you think of me, about what you think of me. And I couldn't see just how happy I could be without you here with me. Yeah, I couldn't see just how happy I could be without you here with me. Should I really change who I am for you to stay a little longer? Should I really be proud of who I am? Or do you still see me as a monster?
Hello, I am Nicholas Diaz. I've been an intern working for NEPM since the summer, and one of the things I learned from this program is mixing and editing audio. So I hope you enjoy one of these projects I made.
What is more fun than being with family? Absolutely nothing, of course. That was a trick question, by the way. Don't answer. So once upon a distant time, Sir Nicholas was probably 10 at the time. Now, he had his cousin Javon sleeping over, and his dad. The Chillin' with Dylan trio formed an alliance and initiated a boys' night out. Nicholas, Stick Nick here, and I have a story to tell you about two gamer dudes. Me and my cousin, and a football player, my dad. So, my dad, cousin, and I were heading off to my dad's football game. It was a cold, quiet night. Just cars passing by and the moon stalking us and our every single movement. Me and my cousin were probably talking about video games because, we play video games. Well, once we arrived at the football game, my dad put on his gear and set off into the wildness of the field. Me and Javon were holding the football until a kid wearing some black thing around his head stole our ball. I don't recall what happened that started us to fight, but we did. The fight was very epic. We were giving it our all. When I was down, my cousin would defend, and when he was down, I would defend. We were a powerful duo. But the ninja kid was stronger. So much stronger than us and more aggressive. But no matter what, we stood back up and commenced yet another attack. Ooh! Eventually, though, the game was over. We were walking to our car and we saw the kid again. And we found out that he was my dad's friend's son. Shocking, right? Well, after that we went to a fellow Burger King. Then all heck broke loose. 'Cause after that, boom! Our car broke down. Boom! My cousin threw up. Boom! I don't know. Luckily, we got a ride home. Though despite all of that chaos, we still considered this night one of the best. When we got home, we found out my mom and my cousins tried to make a cake. Yes, I said tried. It failed. F in the chat for sweet chocolate cake. And that was the boys' night out experience. I found so much joy in this, and it is also good to think about the positive side. Even when things go wrong, keep your head up. This is Stick Nick, Nicholas, branching off.
Sound,
Stories,
music, ideas, experimentation.
This is Media Lab.
This is Media Lab.
Hey guys, my name is Kanzulu, and one of the things that we got to do for this summer was to do photos and tell a story with it. The project that I'm going to be presenting today is a photo voice project about youth homelessness.
My name is Kanzulu, and I am recording for Photo Voice. A young adult saw the end of him. It was wintertime, for his home was here, the cardboard boxes keeping him warm. He prayed to make it through the winter, for God was with him even when he saw the end of him. That was my friend Dan Holland, who at one point lived in these harsh conditions. Unfortunately, there are many stories like his. 18,471 people experiencing homelessness in 2019, according to the HUD of Care across the state. 480 of those were identified as 24 years or younger. However, there are many that are unidentified. There are many youth who aren't even able to go to a shelter, for over 3,000 shelter beds are overfilled to capacity. This leaves many, like my friend Dan, having to sleep in the streets, whether it's dumpster cans, sidewalks, abandoned buildings, construction sites, the boardwalk, with sleeping bags and tents, along with many public spaces in Springfield. Many homeless youth are ashamed, embarrassed, and scared to get help. I see it everywhere in Springfield, Massachusetts. I met and heard many of their stories, and it's heartbreaking to know not everyone has a home. Regardless of these situations, Dan Holland was one of those exceptions. He had made it out of the recycling dump, went to a youth center, got help, and changed his life. He was able to drive, have a job, a place to live, a girlfriend, and most importantly, people that loved him. But last October, my best friend Dan passed away due to overdose. It tears my heart knowing he is not here, not being able to see what a beautiful life he would have had, and keeping my promise to bring him with me to the Oscars for my future movie one day. Even though his life was short, it's never about the tragic ending. It's about the impact he had on his friends, his mentors, his family, and even myself. He was a caring, vibrant, lovable, and passionate young man. Yes, it hurts that he is gone, but it's a celebration of his life, a message to youth like him and people I know who've been there. There is hope. It doesn't matter where you come from in life or where you start. It's about the journey you go on, the lives you impact, the lessons you learn to our final destination, which is home. Home is not just a place, it's the love people have in your life that make a home. Everyone deserves a home.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Taylor Warren. Working at NEPM, I've learned how to express and portray media in numerous ways. And what you're about to hear next is a podcast about the magic of music and entrepreneurship.
Sound,
Stories,
music, ideas, experimentation.
This is Media Lab.
This is Media Lab.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the new TJ podcast. I'm your host, Taylor Warren, and today our topic is going to be on the magic of music. Let's get into it. Now, to start off, I've always loved music and hold music very close to my heart. From the sounds to the feeling to its ability to just change the overall atmosphere of a room. It's truly amazing, and I hope you learn to see it how I see it. I've used music to relax, to even escalate my mood when I want to feel better about myself or a better situation I may have had a challenging time dealing with. And I'm sure you have as well. If not, bro, what are you doing? Like, you need to hop on the wave, especially because you get to choose the music you want to listen to. You're not stuck in the supermarket listening to Johnny and the Bernsteins 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're the king, you're the queen, you're the emperor, yo. You're the emperor. So, let's reverse back to 2020, right? Now look, yo, I get it. That's not something that anybody here on this earth wants to do. Despite all that, I got a story to tell y'all, and that's where our next destination is. So, once upon a time on a not so dark and stormy night, it was March 12, 2020, my birthday actually, and schools were due to have a 2-week break due to the virus that we know as COVID-19. 2 weeks turned into 2 months, and eventually the virus took control of regular daily life that, as we once knew it, right? Masks were only really worn in ERs, and you didn't have your everyday citizen at your local Walmart explaining why you should or shouldn't wear one every 5 seconds. Now, the first phase of online school was done. I was beyond bored, right? And I made TikToks to get myself through. Yes, I made TikToks. It was just a phase. And if you want to go see them, the link will not be down below because you're not going to see them. That's just what it is. So by this time, we're in late June, and I needed something to do, something to hone my creativity into, something to keep me productive in my own way. So I started turning the old gears in my brain, and thought, what better way to use this free time than work on what I love most? Music, right? Yo, you have no idea how fast I grabbed that phone. I called my brother and told him I wanted to start making music as soon as possible. I had started watching YouTube videos on how to play keyboard better, how to make emotional melodies, how to incorporate ear candies in my music to get my listeners to come back, how to find the equipment I needed. I was all for it. I got my brother to lend me his FL Studio account. I started playing around with the functions, got a summer job, which I still have to this day, which paid for all the equipment I still use now to focus on my craft. I felt it was a new skill I had to learn that would potentially become something that, once given the consistency it needs, would later make me successful and destroy the whole working 9-to-5 everyday idea. Because let's be honest, right? Nobody really wants to work a 9-to-5. And growing up, I witnessed how much stress just having one can give another person, especially when it might be their only way right now. So there's this one quote by a musician named Franz Joseph Haydn, which states, "There was no one near to confuse me, so I was forced to become original." What this means to me is to try to become confused by as many people as possible so you don't fall into another system-generated statistic. Allow others to educate you on entrepreneurship, talk to you about making an income from doing something that you love. Although it is an option, be open-minded enough to follow a career other than the generic systematic norm. You know, the doctors, police officers, firefighters, etc. Yes, we do need more heroes such as those, but don't allow an outside force to influence your decision. Let it be made all on your own. And if you haven't guessed already, I want to become an entrepreneur in music, right? And for anyone who is listening, becoming an entrepreneur is not hard at all. I know they say you shouldn't speak on something that you have no experience in, although the following is my firm belief. If you have the drive, the passion, the mindset, the undeniable belief in yourself that you can make a stable income from doing something that you love to do, no one can stop you. Because at that point, it doesn't even feel like work. And along the way, you will fall. You may take 5, 6, 7 steps back, but because of how strong you are, you're not complaining about that dollar you lost. You're looking ahead, putting the pieces together, making the next moves to find your next dollar. And that's the beauty in entrepreneurship, no matter what lane you take. It could be music, business, music production, graphic designing, photography, videography. The world is yours. You are in command, my kings and queens, feel me? They say time is our greatest luxury, right? But you never truly know how much time you have, so you gotta act now. Thank you for coming to my Tay Talk. This has been the Tay J Podcast. Feel free to share this podcast with others to open their minds, hearts, and spirits, and I hope you have an wonderful day.
Fantastic job, everybody. You should all be so proud. I would like to take a moment to recognize a very special person who could not be with us tonight, Ladissa Rivera Gonzalez. She was one of our mentor/student liaisons this summer, and she was such a wonderful support for our students, our mentors, and our staff. And she took so much time to make sure that all of our projects were running how they were supposed to be, and she facilitated our photo voice project at the beginning of the summer. So we wish she could be here with us tonight, but unfortunately she had another meeting to attend. And I'll pass it over to Johan.
During this summer, in partnership with UMass, our Media Lab cohort of interns got the opportunity to join a Youth Participatory Action Research, also known as YPAR. YPAR draws on the experience of young people as they conduct research on how to improve conditions that support healthy youth development. With a research lens, our interns created pieces based on multiple topics that were part of this research project, with the instruction of our partners at UMass who conducted interviews and provided the structure to our youth on how research is made. We want to thank our partners at UMass for this learning opportunity provided to our interns.
Yes, I just want to say you guys all did such an incredible job. I am so proud of all of you, and I wish I could give you guys real hugs, but until then, I'm sending you guys virtual hugs. Alrighty, next, we're going to be talking with the incredible and remarkable Elizabeth Roman, an editor and reporter for The Republican and El Pueblo Latino. Elizabeth, take it away.
Hi, how are you guys? It's so nice to see everyone. I want to see everybody's reaction buttons. I was doing reactions before, but I don't know if anybody saw them because we were watching the videos. I'm just so incredibly impressed with all of the work that you guys did. I can't believe how much effort and thoughtfulness went into all of the pieces. And it was just really an incredible experience for me to be able to meet you and to see the amazing future leaders of Western Massachusetts. So the students that participated in the program on the Republican and El Pueblo side basically got to have a tour of the newspaper. They got to meet press workers and people working in advertising, graphic design, our library, a bunch of different areas that you could go into if you worked at a newspaper, that it doesn't just include writing articles. But one of my favorite parts is, of course, talking to them about the work that I do at the Republican as a reporter and editor, and getting to read all of their pieces. And one of the things that we decided when I spoke to them was that I would consider some of their pieces for publication. And we I would have loved to include all of them. Unfortunately, that can't happen because it's just the way of print papers. They learned that print newspapers are much smaller than they used to be. But there were some incredible pieces. All of you guys did great. But the 3 participants who will have their stories published in print and on masslive.com with their names, their bylines, will be Maggie, Kiara's photo piece, and also Marisabel. So I'm really, really impressed with all of you guys. There may be some opportunities for you in the future. So I will be looking at your pieces and maybe reaching out to a few of you to consider some pieces for later on during the school year if you guys are interested. And yeah, great job. I was just really proud of all of you, and it was such an honor to participate. Congratulations to Kiara, to Maggie, and to Marisabel, and to everyone else who submitted. You guys really did a good job. Probably the best group that I've had in quite a long time. So you guys have great futures ahead of you, and I'm just so honored to have been able to participate.
And before we officially wrap it up, we want to give a deep thank you and recognizing all our funders, community partners, staff, families, and friends for all their efforts in their different capacities. All together, we made this possible to offer this workshop, this job learning experience for this cohort of 2021 New England Public Media Lab. We deeply thank you, appreciate your commitment, and we expect to continue working together for many more years to come, providing opportunities for our youth. And congratulations to our cohort of Media Lab interns. You are officially graduated from the Media Lab Summer Program 2021.
And Johan and everyone, if I may, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Martin Miller, president of NEPM. And I almost do not know where to start. I guess I'll start by thanking Vanessa Pabon and her staff, Johan, Bess, Zoe, everyone who helped put this together and lead this, our interns, our mentors, a fabulous team, and you put that together with these fabulous students, and you see and hear what we had today presented to us. Now, I know how much you all wanted to be together in person, and unfortunately, the current situation did not allow that. But as I said to our senior staff, every time I attend one of these, whether it's in person or virtually, it's an incredible moving experience. And you deliver no matter what the medium is, whether it's in person or doing it virtually like this. Thank you for your heart, your stories, your words, your music. Really an unbelievable, incredible job. And I will say something that I think the staff has heard me say at prior graduations. Not only is this one of the things I'm most proud about NEPM, and I'm proud about everything we do, but this is one of the things I'm most proud about. And I can go back to the very first cohort when I said to John Vosi and Tema Silk, who were running it for the radio side at the time before the merger, and I think the merger has only made this even better than it was, that the very first exercise that class did, I could tell that if you are given opportunity, you can succeed. And that is one of the biggest message I hope you'll take away from this, because you have skills that will serve you in so many ways, regardless of whether you go into the media, in almost anything you do. And that's one of the main points of this program. So I hope that you have big plans for the future. And I hope that you will call on us at NEPM if you need guidance, advice, help, whatever we can do to help you along your path and to be the kind of people that I see you growing into and becoming as citizens of our Commonwealth and our country and of our planet. And thank you so much for all that you've done. Really an incredible job. I almost don't know where to end this, but to say a huge thank you to everybody.
Thank you, Martin. So I have enabled all of your cameras and microphones. You're going to spend the next 5 minutes allowing people to interact and give any feedback that they would like to. Go for it. Turn on your cameras and microphones. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you.
I just want to give a big round of applause to all of you guys. Great job. And if now with your microphones unmuted, please, we can make some noise. Woo! Woo!
I just want to say awesome job, everyone. I thought you all did a wonderful, wonderful job. You know, even when your children are part of young adults, I say are part of you know, a great cohort. It's everyone did awesome. My son is Taylor. I'm very proud of him. He's always showing me different things that you never know what they know, and so I just I'm thankful that excuse me, he got an opportunity to be in this youth media. That was wonderful. You all did a wonderful, wonderful job. Once again.
Feel free to unmute and say something.
I would like to say that these kids, I call them, they're not really, but they have worked so hard this summer, and just I'm so proud of them, and I hope that they were able to produce projects that they were proud of, and I know that they did. So like I just want to thank them for giving it their all this summer and making our lives a little bit easier by really being passionate about what they do. And I know that so many of them are going to be doing incredible things. So I'm quite proud of them, and I'm sad that this is over and the summer's over, but
Is anyone keeping up with their podcast? There were so many interesting episodes. I want to see what's going on with the lacrosse team. I want to know what's going on with Taylor's music. Like, what's the deal?
So a few of them have expressed wanting to continue their podcasts, and Johan and I are looking for ways to explore that with them throughout the school year. So more on that when we figure that piece out.
Yeah, I know that I probably sound like a broken record by now, but I always tell the students, you know, I'm the youngest in my family, and I never had the opportunity to have younger siblings. And I see all of your students and all of your kids as like my siblings, because I care about them so much and I want them to do well and succeed in every aspect of life. And I am so incredibly proud of all of you for coming out of your shells, for exploring and trying all of these different kinds of multimedia, because it is not easy. You think it looks really cool. It was so difficult, and there's a lot of aspects to it. So I'm very proud of all of the work and everything that they did. And I think it's so important right now to amplify these stories and talk about a lot of these issues that are happening in our communities around us that maybe we're not aware of and maybe need more attention. So I hope that all of you are super proud of yourselves, celebrate with some ice cream, you know, go to Friendlies, I don't know, whatever's the move. But I hope you guys celebrate and are extremely proud of yourselves. And like, you know, I'm sending you guys like a virtual round of applause to all of you as well, because you guys are incredible. So thank you.
Also, I will be remiss if I don't do a mention and recognition of all the effort, and to let all of you know the successes that you are seeing today, the celebration we are doing for the work of all of our youth. It was possible because of our team of mentors. I want to personally thank Hannah, Melissa, and Veronica, and Larissa, who is not here with us today. But without you, this could not ever been possible. And on top of that, I want to really make this recognition of your energy, your drive, your leadership, your creativity, your patience, and the cohesiveness of being not only a team, but a family, taking care of our own. this is the only way we can be as successful as we are today and be proud of this cohort of young media producers as they are now part of our family. So I deeply thank you for all this commitment, your love, your passion about this, and make this Media Lab Summer 2021 one of the best ones we have had yet. And just quoting Queen Beyonce, who runs this world? Yeah.
Media Lab.
That wasn't very cohesive, as Johan said for us. I promise when we work with your youth, we're more cohesive than Melissa and I. To be clear, the correct lyric, Melissa, girls, but also NEPM. So thank you all for the support that we've received in the building and outside of the building. I know that whenever we see staff, when we're in person, they always say hi to our youth, to us, make us feel welcome. And that is a work environment that hopefully temporarily, but that I will be sad to leave. So thank you, everyone.
It's all part being creative though, and having fun though.
If there are no more comments, I'm going to say that that's a wrap. Thank you all for attending.
Thank you. Tremendous effort. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you. So happy to be here. Bye.
Yep.
guys.
Good job, guys.
Thank
you.
you. All right.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.